Hey guys, are you a fan of Mega Man? Well, check out my book, Fight Mega Man for Everlasting Peace of Volume 1, which actually covers Mega Man 1 through 11 and Mega Man and Base. It has reviews, retrospectives, Robot Master lists, and a lot more. And if you purchase the physical version from Amazon, you get the Kindle version completely for free. It's one hell of a bargain, so don't miss out and click on the link below to buy your book. Take care, Mega friends. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Resident Evil 3, the remake! Oh my god, it's out! Yes, oh Jill, I love you. Now, I do have to admit, Resident Evil 3 is not one of my favorite Resident Evil games. I always felt that Resident Evil Code Veronica was the true Resident Evil 3, but Sony had rights to all the Resident Evil numbered games, so they were like, Resident Evil 3 has to be on our console, and that other game for the Dreamcast has to be Code Veronica without a number. So right during the middle of this quarantine pandemic, the Resident Evil 3 demo came out, and it's pretty short, and I was really impressed. Wow, the graphics look amazing, just like Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh, there's my Jill. Oh, my bae. Oh, Jill. And holy crap, Nemesis. Oh my god. And so I know the original Resident Evil 3 on the PlayStation did have dodge mechanics, although they were a little not responsive. But this time you have a dodge mechanic with the R1 button, and it's a lot easier to avoid Nemesis this time, and a whole bunch of other enemies too. So during my time in quarantine in 2020, Resident Evil 3 finally came out for the PlayStation, Xbox One, and the PC, and being a Resident Evil purist, I got it on the PlayStation 4. So this is where opinions of the Resident Evil 3 remake are kind of mixed, and I do agree with a lot of them. And just to start things off, we don't have the amazing, awesome PlayStation intro from the original. Oh my god, like the part where the RPD comes, and then they draw their guns against the zombies. The part was so awesome, man, and it's not here. And just like some of the DLC from Resident Evil 7 and the Resident Evil 2 remake, we have live action actors doing a lot of the news segments, and then we have the zombie pandemic happening, and it's not as intense as the original PlayStation version, which I do kind of miss. And we actually begin in a first-person view, just like Resident Evil 7, in Jill's apartment, and you get to see how it looks like in 1998. There's Jill in her sleepwear, and oh my god, she's turning into a zombie! I know this isn't canon, this has to be a dream, right? Whew, thank God this was just a dream. So Jill's in her apartment in 1998, and she and the rest of the STARS members are suspended. Suspended? For just doing their jobs? Oh yeah, Brian Irons is an asshole who suspended them for inquiring about the whole Umbrella thing, because he's on Umbrella's payroll and shit. And then we see a pizza delivered by good old Brad Vickers, good old chicken heart. He can still deliver a good pizza, or get someone else to deliver a pizza with a note saying like, yeah, we're gonna get out of the city, man. We're gonna expose Umbrella for who they are. So as Jill's contemplating on her next move to get the hell out of Raccoon City, Nemesis breaks into the apartment, holy shit, like a deranged fanboy! STARS! And the Nemesis Encounters are definitely a bit more frequent than they were in the PlayStation version, but you can easily see them coming and they won't surprise you at all, like the PlayStation version where I was on Danger Health in red, tried to get back to the safe room, and then Nemesis was like, STARS, bitch, and punches me the fuck out. And I lost an hour worth of save. Yeah. And the original game had a shit ton of backtracking and a whole bunch of puzzles. This game is definitely a lot shorter and a lot more streamlined. Meaning there's a lot less puzzles, there's a lot more action scenes, and it kind of goes more into a linear fashion. Yeah, Raccoon City doesn't feel as big as it did in the original. And they do change the enemy placement a bit more in this game. The giant spiders and the giant fleas that were in the original, they kind of have their own little section now, where the spider kind of grabs Jill and totally makes out with her, and then Jill vomits all that shit, holy fuck! So they kind of take over this little power plant section in the game. Oh my god, this looks like the most horrible corridor ever. It looks like something out of Doom Eternal or Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Holy shit. I know Jill is smelling things in the game, but you can really smell it from here for some reason. And it's so crazy when you're trying to push back the power to bring the power back, the camera angle changes and you see the spiders coming at you. You're like, holy shit, I gotta do this thing now or else the evil spiders are gonna fucking kill me. And they infect you with a parasite, so you have to use herbs to actually get rid of them. And sadly, this is the only section in the game where you encounter the giant spiders and the giant fleas because they're confined to their one section rather than they're spread out through the game. So let's talk about the movie posters and all the advertisements in this game, man. I'd love to see that movie. There's a debate between Dr. Light and Dr. Wily about robotics happening in 1998. I think this is the year when Mega Man X4 and 8 were new. So I wonder what they'd be debating about. Granted, they're not infected by the T-virus. And yes, Carlos is in this game, although he looks a lot different. He looks a little more scruffy looking, a little more battle-worn. He's not like handsome Carlos from the previous game. And you do have a lot more boss encounters with Nemesis in this game, and he does change forms a lot. And by the time you get the grenade launcher, you can actually launch mines that can stop Nemesis in his tracks when he's like, hopping on the roofs like he's Batman or something. Stars on the roof, man. And there are a bit of scenario changes in this game because you actually control Carlos going inside the old RPD station, and you get to see zombie Brad Vickers actually bite Marvin Brana, so now you know how Marvin became a zombie. And yes, the lickers are back, but only inside the police station, but they still suck balls! And not only is Jill a badass in this game like she always is, she curses a lot. She's like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, Nemesis!
Surely a tall drink of water like yourself can put out a few flames.
Fuck you.
That's my girl, my Jill, my waifu. And so if you thought the beta and the gamma hunters in the original were bad, holy shit, man. So once you encounter the beta hunters in the sewer, holy crap, man, they're so fucking huge. I think these things are like fucking 10 feet tall and they can swallow you whole, but they're weak to flame rounds from the grenade launcher, which is good. Ooh, because I don't want to get swallowed by one of those motherfuckers. So once you bring Jill to the hospital like in the original to find a vaccine for the T-virus, you have to find a Dr. Bard, and Dr. Bard is a bit of an asshole saying, you gotta free me from all this, man, because I gotta get out of here, I'm important, and I got the vaccine for the T-virus. When you're in the hospital, man, oh shit, this is when you encounter the fucking hunters. And I know you encounter hunters in this 3D engine just like in Revelations, but man, the hunters are mean motherfuckers in this game. And you actually have to get rid of their shell first before you can kill them, so they can take a little while to kill, but they'll lunge at your throat if you don't dodge or get out of the way right away. Fucking hunters. Yeah, do I really want to go inside that room? Yeah, I kinda have to, right? So once you get the vaccine for Jill, Tyrell is trying to contact the US government to hopefully not nuke Raccoon City, so kind of like Resident Evil 4. So you have to defend Jill and Tyrell against a horde of zombies and hunters, and you get a whole bunch of ammo, but believe me, ammo runs out very, very quickly in this game, although you do get quite a bit of it. And I do have to address this, yes, the big Gravedigger worm is not in this game, which is a huge disappointment because I thought that boss was pretty fucking crazy in the original. Completely gone probably to make the flow of the game move a lot faster, but I really missed that thing. It should have been in there. So once you're done with the hospital, you go down to the underground secret Umbrella Lab, where you're trying to contact the US government to not nuke Raccoon City, and then you see all these tyrants and all these hunters in these tubes, and let me guess, they're gonna break out and scare the shit out of me. Holy shit, I was totally right, but at least it was just the hunters and not the tyrants, because if everyone in those tubes came out, I would probably shit my fucking pants. So sadly, Nemesis kills Tyrell, and then you find out that Nikolai, one of the mercenaries who used to work for Umbrella, is actually working for another company saying, I have to get rid of Umbrella, and I have to get the vaccine, and I'll be rich, and I'll record all your battle data, Jill, using 1998 cameras. Hey, these Umbrella computers are a little too advanced to exist in 1998. I doubt Alienware had computers that advanced. I mean, what are these, like Pentium 2s or 3s? So once you have the final encounter with Nemesis after killing him probably 100 times in this game, because this motherfucker won't die because he wants stars. And you know what? Jill's gonna give you stars. So you have to power up this huge railgun cannon, and then Jill holds that railgun cannon. That's my girl. Oh, that's my girl Jill, yeah! And you have to shoot Nemesis in several different parts, and then you finally defeat him, and the game is over. Not really, because you go to the heliport. Sadly, Barry's not piloting the helicopter this time, because probably in this canon, he's in Canada. For good reason. Carlos and Nikolai get into a brawl with Carlos getting the upper hand, and then Nikolai's like, if you let me live, I shall give you all the battle data, and we sell for money. 1998 money, and adjusted for 2020 inflation, it's probably going to be millions of dollars. But we decide to leave the asshole Nikolai down there to get nuked by Raccoon City, and the game is over. And that ends Resident Evil 3 Remake. So Resident Evil 2 Remake took an average of 8 hours per campaign, and you had quite a few campaigns. But sadly, Resident Evil 3 has one campaign, and it took me about 4 hours to finish. Yes, we'll say it Angry Joe style. 4 hours. Without any help. And is that a bad thing? Well, considering Resident Evil 3 was a pretty short game to begin with, I was hoping they would make it a bit longer, but 4 hours, I don't know if that really justifies the $60 price tag. But once you complete the game, you get some points, and then you can use those points to unlock infinite ammo and other weapons. And the biggest crime in this game is there's no mercenaries. No, Resident Evil 3 was the game where mercenaries originated from, and there's no mercenaries in this game. Although I do admit Resident Evil 3's version of Mercenaries is the weakest one, but it was still a fun mode to play in the original. Completely gone, they could have made a remade Mercenaries. But then again, this game came with Resident Evil Resistance, which I don't think is a good replacement for it since it's multiplayer, but I guess so. I mean, I would have liked Mercenaries though. And also, once you do beat the game, you get to unlock the classic Stars costume for Jill. Ah, my bae. So, Resident Evil 3 Remake. Did it make the impact that Resident Evil 2 Remake did? Well, kind of yes, but mostly no, because Capcom had a chance to really enhance this remake, make it longer than 4 hours, expand more on the lore, on the characters, which they did, which is good, but the game just felt too short, and they removed things from the game, like, gone are the puzzles. I mean, Resident Evil 2 Remake had puzzles in it, while still keeping, the Resident Evil 4 gameplay, but you know what? I would have preferred to have more puzzles, more gameplay, and I miss the Gravedigger, yes, as scary as that shit was, I do miss the Gravedigger worm, and I do miss seeing the flea monsters out in the open more. And I wish there was like a whole other section of giant spiders and flea monsters in the Umbrella Lab or the hospital, but those Gamma Hunters were pretty scary by themselves anyways, because they could swallow you whole, so yeah, I guess I'll take that. So, is Resident Evil 3 Remake worth the $60 price tag it's going for, probably at the recording of this video in 2020? You know what? I would say wait it out. Wait for it to go down to 30, possibly 15 during a Steam sale or a PlayStation sale or an Xbox Live sale, but I recommend not really paying full price for this game. I mean, I love my Jill. I really do, and she's so hot in this game. Ooh, yeah, but, you might want to wait a little while, pay a little less money, and you'll get your money's worth. Alright guys, so that ends this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about the Resident Evil 3 Remake. And you know what? Jill's still my bae.
You think I don't know how to fuck you up?
Hey everybody, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Especially subscribe, and make sure to click on that notification bell so you know when we release new videos, because YouTube's probably not going to tell you. And if you want to see me play games live, make sure to follow me at twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus. And if you have a Twitch Prime account, make sure to subscribe so you can get awesome perks like subscriber badges and much more. And if you want to support us, make sure to support us on patreon.com/Ryan Molina, because every dollar helps me bring you a better show. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter at @ThatRyanMolina and at BattleGeekPlus. And also make sure to check out the official Battle Geek Plus website for a complete listing of our books, merchandise, t-shirts, and a lot more. Alright, thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out these other videos right here. Thanks and take care.